Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. Today we are going to get right into the meat and gravy of my Dunwoody Labs food sensitivity results. So some of you have been waiting quite a minute to get my results, so let's get right into it. First of all, Dunwoody is basically the main food sensitivity test that most people use because it's supposed to be the most accurate. Is it 100% accurate? No, but it is the most accurate, and so that's the one that I went with. You can ask any physician for this, I think. I go to a functional medicine nurse practitioner. She ordered this for me, and it did take a few weeks to get my results back, but finally got them back, and we're going to talk about it because it's interesting. It's very interesting. So when you get this done, I'm not going to show you everything, but it basically looks like this. It's a bunch of graphs and numbers and stuff like this, but then it gives you more of a very clear-cut way of looking at it in this area, and so that's what we're going to go over. This is going to be used as a guideline for me more than this is how you should eat. And the reason I say that is because I prefer to go by how I feel. If I feel well, then I'm going to continue to do the things that I want to do. Now, if I see that there is something going on, I feel more tired, or I'm having some inflammation, some pain, something like that, then I will refer to this and start eliminating things more. So there's two different, let's say, summaries. There's two different summaries in your packet. One is the less restrictive diet, and I feel like that's the one that should apply to me since I'm not having any issues and my thyroid is under control, my hashimotos is under control, and I feel really well. And then there's the more restrictive diet, which I feel like if you're still having issues and you aren't feeling good and your labs are not where they should be, this is maybe where you need to be. And honestly, I'll probably do a blend of the less restrictive and the restrictive. So we're going to go down. We're not going to talk on every single thing because there's a lot of foods, but we're mostly going to stick to what I should eliminate per this sensitivity test. So some of this is not shocking at all to me, and then some of it is like, what? So the very first thing that I am sensitive to is gluten. Surprise, surprise. Of course I'm sensitive to gluten. I have hashimotos, and I think most people are sensitive to gluten. They just don't realize it. Tuna, that's very sad. I love tuna. I love sashimi, but actually tuna is not one of the best fish to eat, so I'm not really broken up about it, and I don't eat it that often. So whole wheat, you don't eat that anymore. I don't eat gluten anymore. And then some more are bananas. I don't eat bananas. Broccoli, very rarely do I ever eat broccoli. I haven't had broccoli in probably a year. Casein, cow's milk. So obviously I'm a little upset about being sensitive to dairy, but I pretty much knew I was anyway. So that's something I'm going to start phasing out in my diet, but it's going to be hard, and I may wait till the holidays are over because I like charcuterie boards, and the base of a charcuterie board is cheese. So crab. That's really depressing. I love crab, but I don't eat it all the time either because I don't live in Maine, and I very rarely go out to eat these days. Who is? So it's not like I can eat crab all the time anyways. Kidney beans, I don't eat those. Navy beans, I don't eat those. Peaches, I don't eat those either. So basically all the things that the less restrictive diet is telling me not to eat, I already don't even eat. So that's not that big of a deal. And then we have in the green, no limitation, is a whole bunch of stuff. And some of this I don't eat, but one of the things that's in the no limitation is onion. Because y'all know I love my onion. Onion is in here. Let's see, avocado and and most of you know I'm ketovore, so that means I eat 95% meat-based, animal-based, and very rarely do I have any veg at all. But when I do, it's usually garlic and onion, and very, very rarely an avocado these days. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in the no limitation. But let's flip over to the restrictive diet. And this has a lot more things on it that it says I shouldn't eat. And some of them are very surprising and some of them are not. So almonds, I kind of felt like I was sensitive to almonds. Almond flour, when I was first starting this way of eating, the longer I did it, the more I saw that maybe almond flour was not one of those things I could personally use on keto. I think some people can, and it's fine. I, however, was still very inflamed and had some issues while eating almonds and using almond flour weekly. Now, I very rarely use almond flour. In fact, almost never, unless I'm making my keto waffles, and that's like once or twice a year. Like Christmas, birthdays, that kind of thing. That's when we have treats like that. Cottonseed, I don't eat cottonseed oil. Here's a surprising one, egg yolks. Now, it's very rare for someone to have a sensitivity to egg yolks. Most of the time it's the egg whites. So I'm a unicorn and I'm sensitive to egg yolks. Will I cut out eating egg yolks? Probably not anytime soon, but like I said, if I see that I'm having issues, and that's one of the things that's on here, then I will eventually cut that out if I need to. But for now, no. Gluten, grapefruit, lemon, and then it says onion on this one. See, isn't that so weird? On the other side, less restrictive, I can have as much onion as I want. This says I should cut onion. But like I said, since I'm having great results, I feel amazing, the labs are amazing, I'm going to continue to eat my onion until I feel like that I should stop. Shrimp, peanuts, I don't eat peanuts. Oranges, I don't eat oranges. Watermelon, I don't eat watermelon. Whole wheat, I don't eat that. So I wasn't very sensitive to too many things, so that's really good. And then there's one column that says rotate. It says that these foods should be rotated out of your diet for a period of 72 hours or reduced in overall intake. Black pepper, codfish, ginger, and tea. I used to drink a lot of tea. I don't drink tea much anymore. I mostly stick to coffee and water. Black pepper I do use, but not every day. So I'm already doing the 72-hour rotate because it's not something I'm using every day. Codfish I don't eat. And ginger I only eat if I'm having sashimi, which is very, very rarely. So again, I'm already doing the rotate. And then in the no limitation columns, it's basically the same things. Now, I will say that there's some foods in the no limitation column that I don't agree I could eat without limitation. For example, it says that I can eat as much corn as I want. I do think I could eat corn and not see a huge side effect if I ate it once a year or twice a year. If I ate it on the daily or even weekly, I think that I probably would see some effects from it. Also, I'm not sensitive to coffee, so yay, that's in the no limitations column, and I'm so happy about that. Go me. Sweet potatoes, I do think I can eat those very rarely and I'll be okay, but if I was going to eat that every day or even weekly, I think I would definitely see some issues from that. It also says I can eat rice as much as I want, and I can tell you right now that is 100% not true, because last year in February when we went to see my Puerto Rican family in San Antonio, my abuela makes arroz con dulces, and that's rice. And I ate a lot that entire week that I was there. I just didn't care. I was with my grandparents and I wanted to eat my Puerto Rican food and I didn't care. I knew I was going to feel bad. I did it anyways. I ate it every day and I ate less than I normally do, but I still had issues. My back was hurting and I gained 5 pounds of inflammation just from 1 week of eating maybe a cup of rice a day. It wasn't even like every meal, but I ate rice and I ate mofongo, which is plantains. So I ate a lot of carbs while I was there, and I was breastfeeding then, and let me tell you, it did not save me from gaining weight. If I continued doing that, I would have been up 20 pounds in 2 months probably. I can't eat rice. I can't. So there was a few things on the eat whatever you want list that I just did not agree with. Some fruits and stuff like that that I can eat maybe seasonally, but not like in the standard American diet. Now, I can't just go eat an apple for a month. If I ate apples all the time, that would come back and bite me in the butt, for sure. But for the most part, I think this is fairly accurate, especially on the foods that I should eliminate. So if you want to go into more in-depth on this particular food sensitivity test, it does measure IgE, IgG4, IgG, and it tells you how exactly you reacted to that food. For example, gluten is high. I reacted very, very highly to gluten, which I'm not surprised. And it says I shouldn't eat it. What's another one I reacted high? Tuna. I reacted really high to tuna, which is crazy. But those are a few. Let's see, what else did I react high to? High to almond. I had a very high reaction to that, and to broccoli. And those are the very few ones that I saw a huge reaction to. And then for bananas and casein, cottonseed, and egg yolk, I saw moderate reaction, which is so weird, right? But like I said, I'm going to use this more as a guideline than a rule book, because I do believe in listening to your own body. And if you feel well and you are doing, and your labs are good, your A1C is good, if you have a thyroid issue, that's good. All of those things, you need to take in everything, not just what a food sensitivity test has told you. So, for example, if this had told me I could eat, like I said, so this told me I could eat as much rice as I want to. I know that's not true for me. I can't do that. So I'm not putting all my eggs in the food sensitivity basket, okay? But I do think it is helpful for some who are not in tune with their body and don't understand what they're sensitive to. So I do think this is a good tool. It is expensive, but it's an investment in your health and learning how your body reacts to food, and acknowledging that there are specific foods that some of us just cannot eat without it affecting our health. And that's a very important thing to know, and to start your health journey. I think this is a good place to start. If you're not willing to do an elimination diet, which I do encourage, you don't have to do a carnivore elimination diet, but I think elimination diets are very important, especially if you have an autoimmune issue like me. Okay guys, that was the short and sweet of my Dunwoody lab food sensitivity results, and hope this was interesting and helpful for you. If it was, make sure you hit that thumb button. Subscribe to this channel for more information on Hashimoto's, keto, and lots of other things. And leave a comment and tell me if you've done a food sensitivity test and what you thought about the results. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you, mean it. Bye.